Welcome back to my Lemmings Reunion level solving commentary video series. And today we are going to be continuing with the HeyNotTooRough rank. Starting off is HeyNotTooRough 21, Valley of the Sphinx. I remember this one being a bit difficult, and especially since it uses a certain trick here. There it is. Okay, so we have one entrance here, and we need to work all the way over to the other side. Almost to the other side. Alright, so we can. There isn't really like an easy way to hold back the crowd here, but it is possible. Yeah, and I'm going to be showing you how. So first one goes on ahead to bridge across this water gap. Okay, I block with the Lemming right behind him. And then, yeah, I do a digger over here, and also a digger over here as well. And then after digging for a bit, I cancel him with a basher. And then here, after he digs low enough, then I start bashing. Okay, he still goes on ahead. Alrighty, so now the crowd is safely contained between this wall and blocker, which we will release later with a basher. Okay, we need to dig under and bash through all of this. As if we bash each palm tree individually, we run out of bashers. And something new that I learned from watching Icho's creator's commentary video, yeah, I had no idea that the trigger area of the water was much lower than usual. So therefore, there's certainly a lot of leeway for where you can start building and everything. And this essentially means that if you touch even the water over here and stuff, yeah, the Lemming won't drown. Yeah, he'll be fine. But even then, yeah, I still tried to build it so that he doesn't even like touch it at all. Alright, so here, yeah, upon taking a stroke, and that's it for the basher. Alrighty, and then bash through the Sphinx, and we're done. Again, can be difficult, but yeah, pretty much the hardest part is just simply containing the crowd while not using too many skills. Alrighty, the next one. HeyNotTooRough 22, Rock and Metal. This is another load that can also be difficult, but it also happens to be one of my favorites. Alrighty, so here we have two entrances. Yeah, one on the very far left and then one over here. Alrighty, first Lemming on the left entrance will go on ahead. Next one will bash, so as to delay on the crowd and give him enough time to build over the gap. Alrighty, second Lemming in the right entrance will bash, while the other one will turn around and go on to the left, as he has some work that he needs to do to prepare the route for the right entrance. The right entrance. Alrighty, and then the first one for the left entrance will dig down here. Alrighty, and then we're gonna go ahead and dig down here so that we can build underneath the steel here. Alrighty, these three Lemmings make it in on time before they fall down a great distance and splat. Alrighty, here we get low enough now, so now we can go ahead and start building. Okay, send out two climbers to the left. And then this last one that's coming, yeah, he will become a floater. Yeah, so that he can survive the fall. And then this digger keeps on going. Yeah, and essentially this low is pretty much just pretty much to show that the digger can keep on going, even though the not all the terrain is on the same side. Alrighty, and then first climber here will block. Then the other one will turn around, patch up this gap here. Okay, this worker on the other hand will keep on going. Okay, and then we bash here to release the blocker, and also to get underneath the vine traps, or the vine trap, I should say. Okay, and then the digger stops due to the steel here. And then finally, to release this, these Lemmings, we just bash out to the right. And And then they'll just simply make their way down on the bottom, and then over to the left side. Okay, and then one more builder, and we should be done. Okay, so this leaves us with a floater remaining, and essentially it's just for the unlikely case where you might have some lemmings coming in while the digger is going, and if it happens to be too far, yeah, then you have a floater that you can save the lemming with. Here, we only needed to save one with a floater, yeah, not two. Alrighty, HeyNotTooRough 23. Let's block some lems. Another one that could be difficult, but really it's just more about knowing how to use turnaround points. Alright, the first one will bomb. Then the second one will use the bomber hole and bash. And it creates a nice turning point for the other lemmings. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use the next 3 lemmings to make another turning point down here, which we're going to be achieving with the builder wall. So we're going to be placing 3 builders on top of one another. And then at this time we're going to go ahead and max out the release rate so as to get everyone to turn around on time before the basher gets through and falls into the lava. Alrighty, and then with next lemming after the 3 builders, or before the 3 builders I should say, we're going to go ahead and dig. So create this nice wall in which the other lemmings would turn around. And then finally all that's left to do is to bash. Yeah, same thing as up here. In order to make a tunnel in which everyone else can turn back to the left. And that's pretty much it. So all those workers that provide the turnaround points for the lemmings, yeah, they unfortunately will die, but sometimes that's the way it goes, you know. Their work wasn't all in vain. It was pretty much for the greater good. Alright, the next one. HeyNotTooRough 24. Knights of Honor. Okay, this one can be very difficult. In particular, from watching Icho's creator's commentary video, yeah, he said that based on feedback that he received on this level, this was originally earlier in the rank, but it moved down further down the rank because the feedback he got was that this level was just too difficult for its position. And I can certainly agree with that because this I found to be difficult as well. So one lemming goes on ahead, the second one would dig, creating a temporary holding pit for the others. Okay, first one will dig around here, and then after the digger gets low enough, then we start bashing. Okay, we'll go on ahead and build to patch up this gap here. Alrighty, and then with the one lemming that's coming up to the wall, he will start bashing. So this is just pretty much all about timing and just knowing which lemming to start bashing with, as there's really like no other way to hold the crowd. We essentially have to keep them going. Or if we do attempt to try to hold them back, then yeah, we're not going to have enough resources for the end. Yeah, because here we need 2 builders to get over the fire pit. But 2 builders is not enough to get over the armor. Instead, we're going to jump before it. So here we have to bash through the head of the armor. And then finally, all that's left to do is to dig and then bash underneath the level. And then finally, after he gets through, then we use our remaining builder to stop the basher, and that's it. So yes, it can be quite difficult. Alright, the next one. HeyNotTooRough 25. Oh great, now I don't even remember how it's pronounced. It's like Messenjoyson? Yeah, see, I know I've already butchered it, but yeah. I guess this is what I get for like recording this episode long after I have watched Icho's episode. This comes about 4 hours after I watched it. Now I don't even remember how to say the low title. But I do know this though, and that is based on his explanation, it roughly translates to wire fence. So basically German, yeah, for a type of wire fence. Alrighty, so here this is the rare X of everything level in later in the pack. Yeah, we are getting quite near the end of the second rank, but they still occasionally pop up, yeah, from time to time, just not as often as it did in the I'm Too Young to Die rank. So we have 20 of everything here, and yeah, we can lose up to 20 here, but it is possible to save everyone. And my solution is a 100% solution. So first one digs, and then eventually I block at some point. Yeah, there we go. And then I build to seal up the digger pit here. Yeah, so to get everyone trapped in this infinite loop, while the next one goes on ahead to forge the path. So essentially we just need to use a combination of skills to get through this really wide landscape, yeah, and through all this wire fence. Alrighty, trigger for the trap is up here, so yeah, we can safely walk underneath it, like he did here. Okay, and then I use builders to get over the Ghostbuster traps. Yeah, not this one though. Here I just simply dig before it. And again, just a combination of destructive digging skills. Yeah, so as to prevent the fall from being too high, so that the others won't splat. And yes, here, there's this pipe that's in the way. So here we just have to, in my particular solution, I used the basher staircase, where essentially we use the fact that bashers can be interrupted mid-stroke in order to create this very nice staircase that the others can walk up. So this has to be done twice here. Minimum 2 times. Yeah, that is. Okay, here I build over the Ghostbuster trap. Here I go underneath. And then here I build over again. Okay, and now we have some solid terrain that's in the way. Some irregular solid terrain. But once again, yeah, combination of destructive digging skills in order to get through the wire fence. And to prevent the fall from being too high. Alrighty, I use this little hole here. Yeah, to start making our way up. So, once again, basher staircase. Yeah, so minimum of 2 times here as well. Yep, more digging before traps. Alrighty, so as you can see, we are quite near the end now. Alright, bash through the crystal. And then here, I just have him walk up to the left. Yeah, go underneath. And then I believe I just simply build over the Ghostbuster traps here. Yep. And I do. Alrighty. Then, mine the block for free. And then I just do some interesting, weird fiddly stuff here. Yeah, there just happen to be a lot of them stacked on top of one another, so I just use the builder to turn them all back. And then everybody turns around. And then I simply release the blocker with the last one going to the left. And then finally use a builder each to turn them back. And that's it. And again, yeah, you're allowed to lose up to 20 here. Yeah, mine just happens to be a 100% solution. Alrighty, HeyNotTooRough 26, Line of Steel. Okay, this one happened to be a difficult one, and especially since this is another level where, yeah, currently in Lemonite it's still very backroutable, so therefore I couldn't use the same solution there as I do here. Especially since the back routes have been patched up here, particularly with the traps and the one-way floor here. Alrighty, so first one turns around back to the left. Second one would become a climber. So yeah, the first one has to turn back to the left before he starts digging, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, In the meantime, the one that goes out to the right climbs and becomes a floater as well. So he's our athlete. Alrighty, then we're gonna go ahead and bash here, and then make the crowd spill out to the right by mining. So again, this pretty much goes back to how you can use other lemmings inside a digger pit, to do the work, rather than the digger himself to do the other tasks. So that's essential here. Okay, and then before the trap we bomb, so to avoid the master trap. Okay, the digger that just finished, yeah, that's the reason why we needed him digging when he's facing the left, so that he can get a head start before the crowd to patch up the path, to forge the path, I should say. Alrighty, and then finally, all that's left to do is to block, to turn everyone back to the right, and so that they can walk to the exit, and that's it. So quite a nice level here, but at the same time, it is difficult. Yeah, even for just a one of everything level. Now one of everything levels, they are the types that I tend to like, but they can certainly be difficult if done correctly. Yeah, and this would be an example of one. Yeah, it's pretty well done, yes, and it ends up being a difficult one. Alrighty, HeyNotTooRough 27, learning the dark mining tricks. Alrighty, so here we have 3 entrances. They all go out to the right. And once again, as you can see, this is yet another one of everything low. Maybe not as difficult as the previous one, but it still has a pretty interesting trick up its sleeve here. So one of the lemmings in this crowd will become a climber to go out the right side. Yeah, give him a floater. So at the same time that happens, I also start mining to the right here. Okay, he goes over the gap, of course. And yes. So over here, I place a blocker, and you'll see why in a moment. Yeah, I also start bashing to the right at this time. Alrighty, and then dig. And then everyone will just simply use the digger tunnel to walk to the exit. Alright, so the reason for the blocker is this. Essentially, blockers can be used to turn miners. Yeah, like so. Alrighty, and fortunately the wall is low enough so that everyone from this entrance can step out to the right. And then finally, all that's left to do is to bomb the blocker, because he's in the way, and he's preventing his fellas from walking to the exit. So he served his purpose well by helping the miner rescue the bottom left entrance, but he's not needed anymore. Yeah, not that they're all free, so therefore he must be removed. You have been terminated. Alrighty, HeyNotTooRough 28, the official Lemmings swim team. Okay, and let's hope that this swim team is worthy enough to get a gold medal in the Olympics. Alrighty, so here we have 4 entrances. There's 3 on the left side, and then there's 1 on the right side. Yeah, and there's this huge water gap that we need to build over. Alrighty, so only 3 skill types here. So, for the most part, the level is obvious. Yeah, what needs to be done, especially the builders. The builders are especially obvious. Yeah, for the most part. Although there's still some other uses for the builders here as well. So here, start building with the first lemming on the left side here. In this particular case, I happen to have them all built at the edge. Yeah, and then the first lemming on the right side will block. Alrighty, and then after building a couple steps, I block with the one at the very top. And then here, I let the middle one go for a bit before blocking with them. And I should do now. Yes, there it is. And then I also build here. Yeah, because essentially I need everyone coming from this entrance to turn back to the left. So there we go. Alrighty. So now begins the very, very long bridges on both sides. Okay, and then also here, I bashed the blocker free. So any further lemmings that spawn from this entrance, we just simply walk to the exit. Well, before that happens, yeah, we need to bash through the stick here. There we go. Yeah, now they can walk to the exit. And now for this, these long staircases from both sides. And yeah, here, yeah, you will notice that the bridges are stretched out on both sides, and this is actually very critical. Yeah, for if you don't do any bridge stretching here, you will run out of builders, and you won't be able to bridge the gap on both sides. Okay, so with the second to last builder, yeah, that is enough now for the lemmings from the left side to make their way to the exit. However, it is not enough for the lemming still building to the left, as he stops before he is able to hit his head and turn around. So we need to use the final builder for that. Okay, and essentially, this is to show that there isn't any like really easy way to release blockers. Instead, you can use builders. Yes, as builders is added terrain. Yeah, for which it is destructible with the digging skills. So here, this is to show you that you can bash blockers free that block on the builder staircase. Alrighty, and now all blockers are free, so we go ahead and max out the release rate. And now they can all walk to the exit. And yes, Michael Phelps and Leslie, I don't even remember her last name, or if that's even her first name. But in any case, yeah, one of the Olympians, yeah, Michael Phelps, he would be proud of them, of these lemmings. Alrighty, HeyNotTooRough 29. One basher to rule them all. Okay, so back to one entrance. So therefore, not that much to manage here, and not as chaotic. Alrighty, dig down, and then we send out one climber, or at least I did. Alrighty, no, not yet. I give him a floater so that he survives the fall. So it appears that I just simply have him go all the way. Alrighty, dig down here. Okay, build. So he ends about right here, which is about level with the top of the ramp right here. So it appears that I did all the work with just one worker lemming. So certainly the other stuff, the other climbers and floaters would be to speed up their work. But owing to the fact that there is unlimited time, yeah, you can certainly just do it with just one worker. Alrighty, so here, build here. Okay, so at this time, yeah, this climber is trapped, yeah, due to the builder staircase here. So therefore, I believe I should start sending out others. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yes, and he also gets a floater so that he can survive the fall. Okay, and I also send out another climber at this time. Okay, and give him a floater. Alrighty, and then dig down here. Okay, and then also dig away this pillar. Yeah, we could use a basher, but however, these lemmings would essentially be trapped right here then. Okay, and then after the digger gets low enough, then I start building. Yep, and then finally all that's left to do is to bash the crowd up with just this single basher that we have. And this is the reason why these builders are needed. So essentially this builder staircase is needed so that the basher can like move downwards. Yeah, he always has something that he is standing on so that he can keep on bashing. And then this builder that's right here, it's essentially for the head check. Yeah, as it checks for if there's any terrain up ahead, yeah. And if there is, then the basher will keep on going. So as you can see right now, so using the bottom staircase to move downwards and keep on bashing, and then same thing here. This upper builder staircase is to keep the basher going. Yeah, the head check. Yeah, and there happens to be enough terrain. Yeah, that's close enough up ahead of him. So therefore, he keeps on going instead of stopping. So because of this, because I did the work with just almost all the work with just one lemming at a time, yeah, I essentially was able to save a lot of skills here. Although the other builders are certainly to make the bashing a little easier. And thus, yeah, a basher does indeed rule it all. We use one basher to get through multiple walls. So really, this is just the yellow lemon tree trick. Yeah, just with more walls, and also being able to set it up correctly here. So in particular, making sure there's a bottom staircase so that the basher is able to move downwards. Because in the other level, all you just needed was the builder staircase overhead, so that the basher keeps on going. But you didn't need the bottom one in order for the basher to move downwards. Because there just happens to be the terrain that's already done very nicely for him. So really, it's just the head check that's needed. But here, you need both the bottom staircase to move downwards and the head checks for the builder. Yeah, for the builder staircases. Alrighty, and the last one for this video, and also the rank finisher, HeyNotTooRough 30, the fusion. And as you can see, this uses the epic tile set again. Yeah, mixing all the original and the Oh No More Lemmings tile sets together in one level. Ooh, yes, and music here is quite loud, but it's essentially a remix of Dance of the Swans. Alright, so first lemming up here will mine. Okay, and then the first lemming to turn around will build to seal off this gap here. And he has more than enough time to finish before the next lemming is able to fall through to the bubble bath here. Okay, so here this uses the trick, the miner builder trick here. So a builder staircase to keep the miner going, to get through this terrain and also through this terrain as well. Okay, so now we have access to the bottom part of the level here. So now we can keep on moving forward. So I send out the first two lemmings here as climbers. Okay, and then once high enough around here, yeah, I bombed the first one. This allows the second climber to get into the bomber hole that was made and start bashing. Alrighty, and essentially these different color terrain in the wall here, they're essentially serve as markers to allow us to know when to start sending up climbers. Alrighty, and I do so right now. Okay, and I should send out another climber soon. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, in the meantime, this climber has turned around in the bastion tunnel, and then he will be the one to mine out the crowd. Okay, and I also send up another climber as well, but he's farther back than the one right here. Alrighty, so this miner is just going to mine out the crowd, as I said. Yeah, and in the meantime, there's still some other work to be done here. So essentially, here's the trick with the dark mining technique level. So he's going to start mining. Yeah, but we only have one miner left at this point. Yeah, and we need to get through all of this, yeah, with just that one miner. So how do we do that? Yeah, once again, on the dark mining technique level, yeah, we use blockers to turn the miner so that he keeps on going. Yeah, and here we need to do it twice. And yes, this level certainly can be difficult, but it's quite a nice one, especially since in general, Icho essentially wraps up ranks by making a level that basically uses the tricks that you learned earlier in the rank. So here, yeah, we just happen to use the trick of using a builder staircase to keep a miner going. So essentially extending the miner, and also using blockers to turn miners. As a matter of fact, this part right here, it essentially reminds me of that Dublin levels. I believe it's called Mastermind. Yeah, and he essentially uses the exact same thing, where we need to put 2 blockers to turn the miner. So it definitely reminds me of that though. Alrighty, and then finally all there's left to do is to dig through these blocks here, and that's it. So definitely a nice one, and certainly a very nice looking level as well. Yeah, with the nice mix of the original Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings tile sets. Alrighty, last Lemming has exited, so now we're gonna go ahead and blow up the blockers. Nuke them, that is. Alrighty. So that was all the HeyNotTooRough levels, and now that brings us to the Hurt Me Plenty rank, which I will start covering in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video at the Lemmings Reunion level solving commentary video series, and I'll see you all for the next one.